Hi and welcome to another episode of The Mystic Mama Makes. I've been gone for a while but now I'm back and I'm here to show you how to make this pocket pixie, which is super cute. Just in time for Christmas, perfect stocking stuffer, and if you want you can just follow along and try and source the material from your local material shop, or you can find the link below to purchase the kit by the Sprout Boutique. Everything's natural, it's all cotton, New Zealand fleece, all that jazz, and I designed the pattern and I co-own Sprout Boutique, so you would be supporting me by buying one, but you don't have to. I'm sure you'll be able to figure it out anyway. So I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial. I filmed it on my phone, which is a slightly better camera than my iPad, which I was using before, but it's very stormy today and kind of dark, so forgive the kind of cold lighting of the tutorial, but just think of how warm and snuggly this little fellow or girl is when you make them. Cool, I hope you enjoy. So this is the Sprout Boutique version of the Silvercap Pocket Pixie kit. So inside there's the instructions and the pattern, and you also get a cute little sewing kit and the face fabric, the linen thread, embroidery thread for eyes and embroidery thread for the lips if you want to do a face. You get the pattern of fabric you want the body made out of, you get the gauze for the inner head, you get the stuffing fleece to stuff it inside and make the head, and you get some coloured fleece for the hair. So let's discover how to do this. Oh, you will need to have your own pen, scissors and thread. Inside you've got your instructions, and your hat piece and your body piece, and these are the written instructions with pictures, but I'm just going to walk you through this in video form. So we've got our two bits of our two patterns. You could always draw these yourself if you don't have one of the kits. I mean, I'd like you to buy a kit from me, but you don't have to. So we fold the fabric inside out. These two parts are being cut on the fold. Are being placed on the fold, cut on the fold. Then trace around. Use a pin. Now, I always have to make little marks in here so I remember not to sew past it. So you're going to sew from here down to there, stop, then from here up to there, stop. And the hat you're going to sew from here all the way up to there, leaving this open. And I would do that before you cut it. The lines are your sew lines. Now the pieces have been cut out, and I'm just going to do little cuts into the corner here so that it doesn't bunch up when I turn it inside out, almost to the thread. There we go. Our two pieces folded inside out, ready to be stuffed, but first we're going to make the head using some of the fleece, the gauze, and this linen thread. I'm going to make a more complicated head, but you could just make a basic head, and I'll tell you when the basic head part stopped so that you could do that if you wanted to. I'm going to make one that has eyes and a mouth, so it's going to be a bit more complicated. So roll your piece of fleece up. Roll. And every now and then just get your body bit and compare. When that stuffs, that's probably going to be about right. So now I've got the right head size. I get my gauze, roll it out, and wrap it around my head. Just kind of want to smooth out all the bumps, do a double check. Yeah, that's going to be good. I want to get my linen thread. We'll unwrap the whole thing. And we'll have one length longer than the other. Longer length goes around a few times. Shorter length. I'm just going to tie that up. Double knot it to hold it in place. Right. Then we're going to make an eye line. To do that, we want to find the middle of the head. It's about right. Get our embroidery needle, which is the one that has the bigger eye. Thread that. Threaded my needle. This is the back, this is the front. I'm going to push my needle through to the middle of the back, and then I'm going to go just under that pin, maybe back a bit, and around, just under this pin. Pull it and see if that looks about middle for me. Yep, that'll do. I'm going to do at the back, do an anchor stitch, which is 3 times over top of each other. Excuse the darkness and blurriness of this video, it's a very stormy day, but hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Anyway, right, take the pin out. There's this little face. I want a little nose, so I'm just from the back, I'm going to bring my thread through to find the middle of his face, her face. Pull the thread through. You can either do French knots or just a bunch of stitches over top of each other. And every now and then, just get your face fabric, place it over the top, and just see if that's the size nose that you want. Personally, that's good for me. So I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to put the thread through to the back, pull through, and snip it off. Now I'm going to sew the face fabric onto the face. And in this kit, it's quite generous. You've got enough fabric here to make, I'd say, two if not 3 heads if you use it carefully. But to find out how much fabric you need, just place the edge over the back there, and then wrap around. And you want it quite tight, not super tight, but quite tight. So I'm going to cut it about there. I probably could have made it tighter, but I didn't. Wrap on. And then if you want to. I usually don't because it gets in the way, but if you want to hold it in place, just pin it so that it's on there nice and firm. And I would sew up the back first with thread you've already got at home, but with your needle, which is included in the kit. I usually start with an anchor stitch in the middle, and then ladder stitch it up the side just because it's tidy. Onto the neck, so you've sewed up the top and the middle. The neck, you'll notice there's quite a lot of fabric, and if you just sewed it up it would get really wrinkly. So what we need to do is stop just as you get to that neck base and trim it. That side. And we want it just to kind of the neck to stop there, so I'm going to trim all this off too. Okay, so now we're ready to put the eyes on if you want them to. I'm just going to use the pins to mark where I want the eyes to go. So you can see they create like little holes so that I can kind of see. You want the eye thread to go slightly above where that linen thread is underneath and slightly below. It's up to you how far apart or how close together you want them. Push them in just to make those holes more defined. Now I've got this dark brown to use. Again, you can have eyes, you don't need to have eyes, it's up to you. Same with the mouth, you could just have eyes if you wanted and not worry about the mouth. It's really your decision, your doll, your choice. Right, let's do this so that you can actually see what I'm doing. So, and as you can see, there's lines. You can see the knit of the fabric, so we're going to make sure that we follow those. So I'm going to go feel for that thread, there it is, go slightly underneath it. And then pull this through so I don't use it all up because this is for 2 eyes. Re-thread. And slightly above it. Oops. Getting all bunched up. Right. Very good. I want it slightly not so long, so I'm just going to, the tighter you pull it, the more in the eye goes. So I'm just going to double knot it at the back here, keep it in place. Eye numero 1. Obviously it's up to you. If you wanted to make it thicker, you could get more embroidery thread. I think just for these dolls, less is more, personally. That's what I think. So we're going to go slightly under. Now I'm going to put on a little mouth. Just a wee gesture of a mouth, really. I'm just using my thumbs to kind of open and close it to see how long and where I want to place it. It is. I think I want to put it there. Yes. So I'll hold it in place there, and then the good thing about all of this is that everything's readjustable, you know. So that's the first part, and then I thread the next part. I think I wanted it about there. We'll see. Is that where I want it to go? Maybe. I might need to do some readjusting. Oh yeah, that'll do. That'll do for now. Tie it off at the back. Right, so I've got this strand of hair. It's actually long enough so that if you wanted to, you could sew it on and it can be long hair. So if you put your little hat on, just as an idea of what it will look like. Yeah. You could have long hair or short hair. I'm going to show you how to do, I kind of want this doll to have plaits, so we'll do it this way. So I guess figure out where you want the hairline to be. I'm actually going to start it so that it's kind of somewhat hidden behind the cap. It's going to start about here. Hee hee. And I'm going to use my needles to hold it in place a little bit. Hold it in place a little bit. Okay, so I want to thread my sewing needle. So we're going to sew using an anchor stitch at the back. Because it's getting covered up by the hair, of course, it doesn't matter if that's all showing. I'm going to hold down the head firmly. I'm going to do some back stitches, kind of like a part in human hair, isn't it? The hairline to stop there, so I'll just make sure that right. I'm going to do another row just for luck. Once you've sewn on, you could either leave it that way, or I want to plait it because that's how I roll today. So just plait both sides as you would normal hair. It's plaited. It looks a bit funny now. And I want to add the hat. And the hat has been made kind of big so that you can make way for the hair. So I'm just going to fold it in a little bit. That creates the hem. You can of course alter the hat so that it's not all pointy. You could make it, you could sew it so that it was so that it was just rounded to make it more like a cap. But I'm just following the pattern that I have. So fold it in, and then you're going to tuck your doll into the hat and just adjust the hair as you like it. I want her braids to come out a little bit more like that. So I'll just hold her braids and then adjust the hat, spin it round. And actually, if that little bit of hair is out front, that's fine. Ooh, she's looking cute. And then we're going to sew it. Like, I'm going to sew it on. And I kind of like that she's got a little bit of a fringe coming through there. I think it looks cute. So to keep it in place, we'll pin it. Mind the fingers because these sharp bits come out at the end. Pin that down. Just pin down like that. It's quite tight. Now I'm going to just stitch around there. So now I'm just going to do a wee running stitch. I'm just going to go around once, but you can go around as many times as you want. So you go in and out. In and out. All the way around. It's been sewn on. I'm leaving it connected. And we're going to get our body piece, fold it in half, and we're going to make a tiny little slit cut in the middle there. Start off small, you can make it bigger. You can't make something bigger smaller. So just do a little bit at a time. That should suffice. Now we're just going to twist her head on. Nice. All tucked in, and we're going to use invisible stitch to sew her head to her body, up, across. Woo! So now I'm just going to stuff her with some fleece, since her head's been sewn on. You want to do little bits for the arms and then stuff it down to the bottom of the body. So now this little one has been stuffed, and I'm going to sew up this bottom part. And you can make sure it's tucked up. You can always trim all those fleecy bits afterwards. Pin this bottom part together, and I'm going to use ladder stitch or invisible stitch for the bottom of it, like this. If you want to know what ladder stitch is, if you haven't done it before or if you're not quite sure, go directly up and across. Directly down and across. And you can kind of see little ladders are forming, and when you pull it you can't see the stitches anymore. Just a handy little stitch. So do that all the way across. So this is her finished now. You can do this little extra bunchy up thing, which I'm going to show you how to do, but you don't have to, but I'm going to show you anyway. So I finished sewing up the bottom, and I'm going to from the bottom pull up my thread to this point, which is just kind of her upper waistline. I don't know how to describe it. There. I'm going to do an anchor stitch to hold the thread in place. 2, 3, that's knots out of the way, please. Now I'm just going to do a little running stitch all the way across. So I'm gathering stitch, I guess that's what it's called, if we want to be particular. It helps if you squeeze it so that you don't break the thread. Give it a little squeeze. Oh yes, I like that. And then an anchor stitch here. 1, 2, 3. And tuck the thread away. And we are finished. And that is how you make a pocket pixie. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this tutorial useful. Like I said at the beginning, feel free to go check out the Sprout Boutique's page, which will be posted below. Find me on Instagram under Silvercap Dolls or the Mystic Mama NZ. These days we all have so many things. Yeah, and stay tuned, because in 2019 not only will I be filming more craft tutorials, I'll be releasing more crafty kits. I will be doing lots more podcasts about spiritually things. We'll be doing some videos on Waldorf parenting and just tips to make your home all nice and lovely and beautiful, which I'm sure it already is, but you can always have more wonderful, beautiful, whimsy stuff. Yeah. So until next time, ka kite anō, and I will see you again soon.